Tell us. All right, we are officially live streaming now on Facebook for Red or Green Books. So, welcome, Taurin. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. Tonight is going to be such a fun night. I think you might have set a record, my friend. I have to go and look from the day we started your book until the day it went to print. I got to see how many days that was because I'm sure it was setting some sort of record for getting a book to print. It is beautiful artwork, y'all. He did all this artwork himself. It is just a stunning book, The Dark Muse Chronicles, A Poetic Journey by Taurin V. There is a stunning artwork in here as well. It did not disappoint. I'm so glad that we did the option of going with the heavy duty gloss pages. It makes your artwork really pop off the page. I've been like gushing over this book on Instagram for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days on our 707 show. You know, I do a show every day on Instagram. And for the last 3 or 4 days, I've been gushing over this book. Just telling people, you know, to come and be here and be a part of what we're doing. It is an exceptionally beautiful book. I encourage everyone to please order your copy. Torn has the books. Get it signed. Get it shipped to your house. It is not just a poetry book. It is also an art book. And anytime you can get extra, I'm all about extra. Anyone who knows me knows I'm about extra. And this book is no exception to the rule. So I'm so excited to be working with you and to have put this beautiful book in place. The book launch for not just this book, but the other debut authors at Red or Green Books. There's 11 authors in total. There'd be 3 online launch events. There's the Meet the Poets in April. There's a readathon in June, and there's a book signing in August. So please support these poets. Many in the room here today are either associated with Red or Green Books or have been published with Red or Green Books, and Whisper Poets here, and she is part of the debut poets launch. So it's very exciting, right, to see all of the authors supporting each other in the endeavor of getting their book out. So good to see you, Whisper. She's also a host here at The Word Is Right, as well as Shaki G, who's in the room. We have shows just about every single day of the week here at The Word Is Right. So just keep tuning in to all of the awesome stuff that we have here. All right. So I do not see a lot of people on the list. If you want to read, you can also like raise the little digital hand and I'll get you. Because I only so far have Rachel, and I know she does not want to go. And I'll go first regardless. I'm going to open the show and I'll explain the rules and all of that stuff. So you don't have to worry about going. Yes, Lobel, right? Love the book cover. She says it's amazing. Whisper, I see you. All right, so I'll put Whisper before Rachel. Sophia, poet Sophia Falco, I got you. All right, Sophia, I got you on the list. So we'll get you guys going. If anyone else wants to read tonight, let me know. So some ground rules. This is a live spoken word event. Well, you can hear a lot of different things, right? We do not mandate trigger warnings. So you could hear anything tonight. If you choose to use a trigger warning in your poetry or before your poetry, we will support that. But please understand that you may hear things. So if you need to mute yourself, Rich Boucher, let's go. All right, Rich, I got you on the list. If you, God, I can't spell. It's the end of the day for me. I'm like, so my eyes are like, but anyways, so yes, you can hear a lot of different things on the mic today. If you need to mute yourself, step away, all of those things are valid and we'll hold that space. But otherwise, you know, you can say pretty much anything on this open mic. You can say dick, shit, pussy, all those great, wonderful words. I know it always makes Sophia laugh. No matter how many years she's coming here, she gets a little red with that. The only thing you cannot do is any hate speech whatsoever. If I feel you're a threat to anyone in this room, you will be gone, baby, gone, and not allowed the fuck back in. That is the one thing we do not play with. We do not mess with. You need to be respectful of everybody. The chat is there for you to use at your leisure, but not abuse. If I get reports that you're being abusive in the chat, of course you'll be fucking kicked out too. So please just be respectful, be nice. Don't be don't be a jerk, right? Let's keep this, like a poetry reading. We want to keep this show going for a long time. That being said, please like, share, subscribe, and follow everything The Word Is Right and Red or Green Books. It really helps us. We have a huge poetry summit coming up here in Albuquerque, New Mexico in September. The lineup is on the website, redorgreenbooks.com. Red is READ, not RAD, it's READ. If you would like to see the lineup or you're interested in helping sponsor the event, we do have many sponsorship opportunities. Rich, it looked like you were going to say something. No? Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't like interrupting you or stopping you. So very exciting. Rich Boucher, Shaki G will be here. Whisper will be here reading. So it's a lot of fun. So I only have 4 people on the list plus me. So that keeps our open mic, about 5 minutes each. Usually what we do is we'll go the first round and we'll bring up our feature. Since Taurin is alone, he's flying solo tonight, he can take up to 30 minutes to read. And if he doesn't want to take the full time or goes over the time, that's okay too. I'll keep track of the time for you, Taurin. If you need, just ask me and I'll let you know how much time you have left. And because you're a solo tonight, the solo features at the end of round 2 come back and do an encore. So if you're down to stay and you want to do an encore to close the show tonight, that is awesome. And if not, if you have to go, that is okay too. I'll go back through the list a second time and give folks a chance to read. So I hope that is acceptable. I hope that explains the rules for everyone. And like I said, if you do not want to be recorded, if you do not want to be seen, please keep your camera off and yourself muted. And that is very simply going to solve that problem. So I'm going to open with a poem because I'm always the sack on my show to lube everyone and get them going. This is a poem that I read this morning on 707. We've been going over 830 days in a row. We have been doing our 707 Pacific show on Instagram at AJ Word Artist. So shout out to AJ and our incredible show. 830 days so far. We've been doing this show every single day. It's an incredible space. So if you're not doing anything in the morning, you want to come kick it on IG with us. We'll be back tomorrow morning doing it again. So this is a poem I wrote a few years ago. It's not a poem that I've read often. And I know Rich Boucher loves it when poets do this very long monologue as a prequel to the poem. So I'm really trying to enhance that to bring him joy. All right, here we go. It's untitled. You're welcome, Rich. In retirement, my dream job would be rocking babies in the NICU. I never really liked kids. I was always afraid of breaking babies until I became a mom. I'd sit there, listen to piano music, rock back and forth, lights low, holding a bottle, watching its tiny mouth suckle at a chance to see tomorrow. I remember the smell of baby skin. I remember the calls of cries, life force coming into its own, advocating early for survival. So why is it so hard for me to want to live now? Surely I must have cried and fought and consumed and grew. I was born so early, so tiny, trouble breathing, still to this day. Surely I must have cried. I plucked the tiny, naked human from its crib, place her to my chest, not as mother, but as nurturer. I lay her in my arms, rock her back and forth, shushing her, but the productive way. The nostalgic white noise static, womb familiar sounds to her ears, so she would feel at home, safe. She has fought so hard to get here. How to talk her into staying, saying she is beautiful, she is loved, she is safe. She has fought so hard to get here. Swaddled tightly, tucked in at the sides, arms bound to body, squished like inside the mother, a place I'd never dare venture again, since I am no longer alone here, no longer cold, no longer afraid. The only place I am no longer afraid, because I am back to baby, facing days, because I know no better, want no different, have any other choice. Free will can be feast or famine. This feminine maternal existence must be more than mere survival, to need more than rocking, more swaddling, more shushing, more of this modern day bottle and piano music. And I still need a home and someone to love me, since I have fought so hard to stay here. Thank you so much. That is that piece. All right, welcome, Brooklyn in the house, Erica, Floyd, Ramrock. Welcome, welcome, everyone. If you would like to read tonight, let's drop your name in the chat or send me a direct message, and I am happy to get you on the list. So far, I have Whisper, Rachel, Sophia, and Rich Boucher. So if anyone else would like to join that list, and if you want to wait till round 2, that is okay. You do not have to read. We welcome everyone's presence and appreciate that you are here. All right, Whisper, are you ready, my friend? She got the popsicle. Oh man, let's go. Let me spotlight this. Let's go.
I am ready. With 1 or 2?
So you guys can take up to 5 minutes. So that just depends on your piece.
Okay. This broken road runs in an agonizingly endless stretch from Louisiana to Texas. Concrete barriers, etched and stained with creeping black sludge, separate me from the marshscape, where stunted trees like old women's hands grow in twists and gnarls. Their arthritic fingers have ripped handfuls of tree hair, greenish graying moss, and brandish it as I drive past. Is it a warning to turn back or a plea for help? This apocalyptic roadway is cracked and jagged, with crisscrossing lines of repairs begun and seemingly abandoned. Lonely, strange, and unloved. On the outskirts of a tiny town, I see a bridge, the concrete support of which has been tattooed in the shape of Jesus on the cross by a chemical stain. Acid rain, a graven image in a place already choked to death by human hands, and resurrection appears impossible. Abandoned rail cars sit unrusted and ghostly gray, full of some substance at least 18 syllables long and clearly not fit for human contact. I wonder idly if the water tastes sweet on the tongue. A few miles farther, and piles of gravel and stacks of pipes lie in puddles of water created by caterpillars and bobcats, not the furry ones, the metal ones that leave land scars behind. It looks as if a giant baby made this place his activity table, then went down for his nap. Toys left strewn for mother to straighten, except she never did. And now they lie where he left them, forgotten and rotting beside the tracks of his metal pets. These images are surreal as I speed down the 10. The hum of my tires is a counterpoint to the dissonance of the strange landscape. I could almost imagine I'm leaving the bounds of the known world, and it is an exercise in fortitude to keep my foot in the floor against the knot in my stomach and the weight in my heart. This place feels trapped in stasis. Its entropy leaves an eerie echo in my head. Finally, signs of human existence appear. A neighborhood full of large houses with multi-pitch roofs and monochrome exteriors built so close to each other the children could play hopscotch on the roofs. Nice neighborhoods are kept away from the screaming wheels of interstate traffic, while this one practically invites me to pop in for a cold one and some brisket. But the smoke plumes of the factory in the near distance provide the context I need to understand why. These are modern-day mill houses, surrounded by the orgiastic decay of a petrochemical giant in too big of a hurry to do anything other than throw up cardboard mansions of shamed glory, where you toil in the light and come home at night to your American dream amid this hellish place literally named sulfur. The houses sit boldly, proclaiming to all who pass by, Look how we prosper here. See what we have achieved. On the shoulder to the right, behind another concrete barrier, stands a spindly row of crepe myrtle trees, their branches naked and blackened. East Texas fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. It is bizarre in its ugliness, and while it is possible for ugly to be noble, there is no nobility here. Spindly trees are just lipstick on a pig, and they cannot detract from the atrocities burning my sight. And it gets worse. Smoke is pouring sky high as I come upon a series of metal conglomerations formed in odd and impossible shapes, like exoskeletons bolted onto the scabbed surface of the earth. Metal ticks clinging like forged keloids to Gaia's shuddering hide, scabs on Gaia's knees. We have infected her with the disease of our greed. The shiny metal glints obscenely in the morning sun as if made from newly minted coins. I can make no sense of what I'm seeing. I can infer no understanding of what this horror-scape of bizarre shrapnel is meant to do or how it could possibly create something worthy. I feel as if I have accidentally stumbled into the set of a science fiction movie. We have perpetrated grievous bodily harm here, except no one is coming to give us our comeuppance. We are a first world country drunk on our own hubris. Here, on this broken road of our dirty secrets, these horrifying superstructures proudly stand tall as symbols of excess. Through Houston, I follow the I-10 beneath a giant monorail of a bridge, and the only beauty I can see is the street art covering it. A fat cat skyway leading to a room in a mirrored glass building labeled with a sign that states New Era. But I know within that building is the room where our apocalypse is being mapped out on a chessboard made of diamonds, sitting in a lake of black gold. Tomorrow, I leave for Montana. Maybe closer to the heavens, I can convince myself that I am not a party to this catastrophe that we have perpetrated upon our earth. Whisper.
Let's go, Whisper. Did you have another small one, or did you want to wait for round two?
How many minutes was that? Am I okay on time?
I mean, you got like another, like, you got room for a small one if you want a small one.
Okay. Because I always like to give you funny after I give you,
And we love that.
I don't want to leave you with too much seriousness. Okay, this is of yogurt and electrocution. The perusal of my refrigerator door reveals my yogurt is expired, as in no longer fresh, as in today's date is past the date of safe consumption. Not trying to manifest a state of colorectal dysfunction, so I sniff the yogurt and glance down into the cup, the nubbly surface. Kind of like my thighs, kind of like my life. This yogurt has changed. This yogurt has expired, and now I'm triggered and generalizing because I've changed too. Am I now past my best used by date? I don't want to be pissed off about what's under my lid. I mean, I'm over 50. I'm on the way to being delimbered, not as stretchy as I used to be, not the same old amusement park as I once was. And I'm getting used to that. And while I used to fixate on what he thinks of me, I'm starting to care more about the things we weren't meant to be. And what if it isn't me who's past my expiration? Maybe it's him. Maybe he's got chunky yellow liquid under his lid. See, this is what age has done for me. It's flipped my script and helped me understand that I am way more worthy than what I used to believe. And instead of mourning him when he leaves, I'm telling him to get his pants on and dip out, please, because his vibe is just too low frequency for my transponder to receive. And I'm not trying to change my channels anymore because I believe. No, I know what I have to give. And if he can't decode my hexadecimal flow, then he simply needs to just desist. You have to be this tall to ride this ride, and it's not my fault that you're too small as a function of your mind. So here, take your yogurt with you and exit right. Check the seat for your belongings. I have to go now. It's time for my lightning to strike.
Yes! Yes! Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for Whisper the Poet!
I feel like I need to go back to school or something.
Whisper Poet does it again.
And Erica, you might recognize that reference in the end. That was a reference to the White Lightning roller coaster at Carowinds.
There you go.
That's it.
Whisper, I loved hearing your work. You did great as always. I was very taken with more actually with the first poem. They're both great, but I was very taken with the visual that you painted with the first poem. I long had a fascination with industrial parks and what they look like, and how often, if you look at them quick, it can be easy to forget that human beings put those things up there. And
I
so
delivered a car in
it was
January. I drove that road and had never seen it before, had never seen those petrochemical structures before. And it really freaked me out. I was horrified. And that poem came out of that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm excited because Whisper's going to be here in September. So Rich, you get, and she'll have a book. Like, you guys should book swap because you two are in the same wavelength. I love it. But yes, let's go. If you're not going to be here in September, you need to start look at flights and just get here September 13th, 14th, and 15th. You just got to be here. There's no way to possibly describe how incredible it's going to be. All right, let's keep going down the list. Welcome, Poetastic in the house. Ali Paz, Ms. Zany, and of course, Brian is here. Glad to have everyone here. If you would like to read tonight, just drop your name in the chat or send me a message, please. I will get you on the list. 5 minutes to read for the open mic. We're going to go round one, and then we'll bring up our feature tonight, Taurin V. And his incredible book, The Dark Muse Chronicles, is out. So yes, we'll go back to the open mic and let anyone read in round two who wants to. All right, so Rachel Johnson is up next. Rachel is a poet locally here in Albuquerque, same as Rich. And she is going to be featured with me in April for the New Mexico Premier Variety Showcase. I'm hosting that, and she gets a chance to read a full set of poetry. Super, super excited to hear her work. She has a chapbook available as well, so very, very excited to be featuring her. Rachel, are you ready? And then Sophia, you are on deck.
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone. My first poem is called My Body is an Ill-Fitting Costume. My body is an ill-fitting costume, part 1. 3 sizes too large, sometimes lulled by southern comfort, liquid sunlight. I try to disassemble myself. Later, when smoke mist clears, they thread the skin back together. I shrug into my suit, a delicate rain-drenched hide, and escape through a sliver of moonlight. Part 2. I am an outsider inside my own body. Part 3. For fibromyalgia. It's ironic that I once believed I was defined by anguish and pain. Then my body, rickety carriage for my soul, broke and reframed itself to fit those beliefs. Now fire burns low, cooking marrow and searing joints, and ignites along silver, charcoal dust nerves. This next poem is Indian Doll for Sale at the Thrift Store. A middle-aged woman, orange hair tightly permed, bones jostling within a red-faded, threadbare corset, manhandles the wide-eyed native doll. Hands pet imitation buckskin fringe dress, sewn with plastic beads. A smile parts lips, like the sheer cut of a razor, as she rubs her thumbs over the doll's sprayed-on brown skin. As his fingers explored and claimed the landscape of my body, your skin looks great against mine, brown on white, but the doll's skin is flawless, no evidence of cutting scars at wrists, thighs, shoulder, or hollow between the breasts. He mapped the shimmery ridges of those scars too. Doll's hand-painted eyes are brown with black flecks, glaze and shade like mine. Woman clutches doll against slack chest, hand cupping the back of her head. Synthetic black hair parted down the middle, tied in pigtails with a headband snug over her brow. restraining memory. He wrapped my hair around his fist, pulled until my back bowed, until he came hard. Can you grow it longer? I amputated my hair, dyed it punk red, and the color bled out slowly in the shower. Do I have time for one more? A sonnet size one?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Riding the Badlands. Arid wind sighs through tired midday. Stark, rich desert, gashed by canyons, washes, red, brown, and white buttes, where my ancestors lived day after day, through harsh seasons and centuries, unfurling timelessly. Squeak of leather as I stand in stirrups and angle my head to read Abby, the sorrel mare's breath, steady, steady. Her hooves strike red shale, a discordant song, as we gingerly make our way through rock valleys. She nibbles at coarse grass, then neighs for ghost, her wild bay roan stud, her barrel sides shudder between my legs, her ears erect, eyes wide, fly bitten neck high. She calls out, how I wish I could cry. Thank you.
Oh man, I love any poetry about horses, Rachel. Let's go. Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for Rachel Johnson, please.
That was absolutely beautiful, Rachel. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah, especially like that
I
last poem.
forgot. Yes, right, Rich? I forgot to tell y'all, if you want to drop your social medias in the chat, please follow each other. The whole purpose of The Word is Right is to be a melting pot of poets from the literary world, from the performing arts world, from the music world, from the spoken word, rap, hip hop, and of course, page poetry into one place. So you get so many different people from all walks of life. So please follow each other if you can, and yeah, let's keep going. Yes, Allie, I got you. All right, next up we got poet Sophia Falco. Yes, you must use all three of her names. In fact, it should be award-winning poet Sophia Falco. And yes, she always gets embarrassed when I say that, but she's earned that and she's amazing. We love her. Rich Boucher, you're on deck, not dick, but deck. And then Shaki G, you're in the hole. And yes, I mean it like that. Let me go ahead and spotlight Sophia. Oh, Erica, I love you. Let's go. All right, Sophia, let me spotlight you and take it away.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna read an excerpt from my forthcoming book. If My Hands Were Birds, there's been a little delay in production, but it'll get there. So let's go. It wasn't a plum tree, nor the tree of life. Rather, it was a lone orange tree where we paced underneath the shadows deliberately under his reign. I was unable to trace the history of who planted the tree, and I gathered not the ripe oranges high above me, but instead this thought: he who deemed himself king of mindfulness would have wanted it to be a plum tree to emulate Plum Village, the Buddhist temple in France. However, he also quizzically and typically wore a black cowboy hat in California, a mystery never solved. Why that hat? Yet there was no need for this kind of authority. I wanted to tell him, it is not about rankings here. It is not just science about the breath, even though he was an engineer. King is such an ugly word. Compassion was not in fashion within him like his hateful hat, although despite immense pain, never once did he see my tears, since he, the case manager, did not deserve that type of vulnerability, since his emotional response was lacking from others in my life. compassion, that seed missing to cultivate and illustrate the spectrum of human emotions, was clearly not on display, to my dismay. Even the sun, unable to speak, had compassion for that strangely, wonderfully, resiliently abundant orange tree. I then could see orange, orange, orange up above me, while instead he wanted me to focus on my feet. I can still see his black shoes clearly. He ordered me to feel your feet in your shoes, striking the pavement slowly, but not slow motion, because this wasn't a movie. Instead, I yearned to turn towards the cotton candy blue sky, wishing to fly, but by then I should have realized maybe the word wish should have been removed from the dictionary, from the lexicon. Unlike leprechauns, not on my side, luck. Because he, the wannabe cowboy, wanted to force me into re-engineering the endings to my nightmares, not nightingales, even though repeatedly each week he told me to do so by designating directions on how to deal with distressing dreams. All the while knowing I was too terrified to write them down on paper in purple ink, to manifest from the mind to the page, to rewrite the ending so I'd have more agency, thus power. But he was unable to achieve these horrors, too horrific to replay in my mind. Blatantly, I refused. Me, a non-believer, wishing I could yell, "Fuck you." I wasn't one usually to curse, yet at the same time, I felt cursed. He made this process seem simple and as sweet as the excessively popular game to that day, Candyland, conceived in 1949, designed for preschoolers, designed for improving color recognition skills, designed to save the kidnapped king, designed to travel down the magical road, whereas the problematic character, Plumpy with his plums, was removed in 2002. Who would have thought that a miniature manufactured pink square with a painting of a plum would be so problematic? This board game designed for joy to employ the importance of candy, really such blasphemy at such an early age. And wasn't it dandy in 2022? I was sent here again dealing with a person who I wanted nothing to do with. He had the freedom as he pleased, yet I was not held hostage. However, it was my mind in this dreamscape, which was a wreck of a realm where I was denied him access to know these horrors that held me hostage throughout the nights. Okay, I'm almost dead. I have my timer going. Knights in shining armor, I could care less, and I never gave a damn about chess. I knew chess was for two strategically skilled players. I didn't know the rules, yet I did know some buzzwords. He and I weren't in a stalemate, or maybe he thought so. Wish I could have called this a checkmate. Wish his and my roles were reversed. Since I refused, then I was viewed differently. I was no pawn, he was no real king, but this was not a game anyhow. My life was on the line, not on the 3-point line. That would have been ideal. To be living, to be breathing basketball. Thank you.
Yes, let's go, post Sophia Falco. You do a poem with Blitz.
Yes.
You and Blitz need to do a basketball poem. Yes, I would love to see that. Like, that would be dope. Y'all, she's got multiple books out. She's won all kinds of awards. Please support the poets. All right, let's keep going. Next up, we have Rich Boucher. His amazing book, All This Candy Belongs to Me, is available. It is no slouch. It is an incredible book. I definitely encourage you, if you if you want to give your friend something that they don't have, like how you shop for the friend who has everything, you buy Rich's book for them. Especially if they don't have a great sense of humor, then you can laugh the whole way to the bank, because his book is wonderful and it will make them laugh, and it is pries open the fuselage of the columbaria, and it opens up the mind. So definitely grab his book. It's a lot of fun. Shaki G is up next. For those who don't know, Shaki G is going to WOWPS, which is the Women of the World Poetry Slam in Baltimore next weekend. So she can take tonight, hopefully, as some practice, and you can buy her book as well to support her going to WOWPS. And then Allie, I got you last. closing us out before we bring Taurin in. And anyone else who wants to read around 2, let me know. We'll go back and start over. I know Rich really appreciates long preambles before poets, so I will bring him up without much ado. I love you. I'm so sorry, Rich. If you've had the long, hard day from hell and I'm just like twisting the knife, I'm so sorry. But I hope that you can take my energy and like rub it in like lotion.
I'll try to do that. I really appreciate that. I hope you can hear me all right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
This poem was published in the Fixed and Free Quarterly, Volume 2, Issue 4, December 2023. And because I keep being asked about this, I'm just going to tell you, yes, I goddamned mean this poem. This is called Stay Alert. Watch what you are doing and use common sense when operating a power tool. One of my favorite tools to use is my Makita cordless power drill. It's got a lithium-ion battery and it can deliver close to 500 inch-pounds of torque. And this little baby can go through anything: sheetrock, mahogany wood, 1-inch concrete, and plate steel. It practically does all your work for you. This thing weighs less than 4 pounds, even with the battery attached. And it's got a top drill bit turn speed of 1600 RPM. And I got it for under $100. Can you believe that? Theodore Willigan, age 64. The customer who had mocked me for my job. The customer who whistled for me as if I were a dog or a small child. The customer who put his hand in front of my face as though to dismiss me and my worth, now stared at me from the table I'd strapped him to in my basement. The smell of his old American pheromones and his Old Spice and his perspiration and the paints I kept around blended into a heady perfume that a smart marketing exec would have called no romance. Willigan's stupid Vietnam veteran cap shook as he roared at me in a tone of equal parts fear and defiance. You really think you'll get away with this? They'll give you the goddamn death penalty if you kill me. And why? You're doing all this because you're mad about how I talk to you? You need to get the hell over it as part of your job. If you don't like it, get another job. It was almost like he didn't even care about how cool my new drill was. My back was to him just then. I was lost in the beauty of that little green LED light on the handle of the drill that tells you when it's got a full charge. Seeing that full charge light gave me a full charge. Have you ever felt that steamy flush in the skin when you defend yourself and you know you're right? It's like that itch in your back where your angel wings are starting to grow. It's like a night meadow full of those little green LED lights sprouting from the ground and lighting up the world. The little green LED lights telling you that you now have full power. A sparrow flew over the house just then, also, and sang us both a song about a glorious dame in a film noir movie, and I made a note to Netflix that epiphany later, to Netflix that hotness, to Netflix my last will and testament, to Netflix that sanity. And as all of this pretty sanity continued on, the loose light bulb over the table I had him on swung to and fro in a silly little curve over his worthless face. It occurred to me that he looked a bit like the actor who played Baron Harkonnen in the 1980 film Dune. His resemblance to that actor made me hate him even more powerfuler. And his resemblance to that actor also made me God for a little while, which honestly I did not mind. I turned to face him. We locked eyes then. We locked hearts, too. We almost locked cocks as well, except that he would never have been able to deserve my sex. The next thing I said to him came out so calmly, so suavely measured, that you would have sworn I was an unbelievably handsome actor like John Hamm or something. Listen, This isn't just about how you talk to me. Although believe me when I tell you that in the next several minutes, you're going to learn all about what the word sorry really means. It's also about how you talk to everyone who wears a name tag, everyone who works in retail, every wait person, everyone who works in customer service. What I am about to do to you is not just for me, but for all of them. We're not laying down anymore for the way you customers treat us. Still want to mock how much I make an hour? Oh, and is there anything you would like your family to know before we begin? He sputtered out a mouthful of inadequate apology words, fast and frantic, with his gross spit flecking down on his chin like I'd just given him a facial or something the moment he saw me pull the trigger on the drill, the second he heard its perfect, beautiful, rotational, industrial whine. You know what's odd? Blood looks different when it splashes on your shirt or your hand than when it spatters on a wall. That was kind of a surprise to me.
Yes! Let's
Wow.
go! You all unmute your mics for Rich Boucher.
I'm
Let's
afraid of Rich.
go.
I'm afraid, very afraid.
Woo!
We
Let's
gotta
go.
sing it to everybody.
Erica,
Oh my.
you know what, Erica? You should have him do some jingles for your customers.
Oh my God. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, but my God. I'm afraid
She
of him.
needs you to tell her customers this.
Thank you all
Yeah.
for listening.
Yes, Erica, it is possible to maim, torture, and kill your customers in your poetry. I'm just pointing that out because she's on call all the time and has to deal with the most dipshit fucking people in the world. And she's the greatest, most wonderful human in the world. So, yeah, get your revenge on the page for real. I've heard some of Rich's nightmares stories, and he certainly does deserve to kill them slowly in his poetry. Let's go. Especially the woman who pawed at you lately. Ew. Like, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not about the customers by and large just accidentally believe that they are beautiful and wanted and worth being alive, and they're mistaken.
Yeah. So, Erica, if you want, he'll get you some sort of maybe that could be your answering machine. You never know. He'll you could pay Rich to record your machine for you. All right, let's keep going. Shocky G, the great Shocky G, as AJ calls her, is up next. Oh, that's weird. Shocky.
What's weird?
I'm
Oh.
hearing my voice in an echo. It's really scary. And Shaki G does have a show here at The Word Is Right. The second and fourth Wednesday, she has an hump day open mic. So if you're interested in featuring on her show, and through the month of April, between now and through the month of April, she'll be doing a very special poetry form workshop on the first and third Wednesday night of the month. She also hosts the Out Loud podcast live for our LGBTQ community the first Sunday of the month. All right, so Shaki, Ali, you are on deck, and then we will bring up our feature tonight, Taurin V. All right, Shaki, take it away.
Am I allowed to unmute now? Okay. I'm gonna just read some old dish stuff. First one is pink. When flamingos raise a child, they lose the pink in their feathers. I never saw the pink in my mother's coat, always just some kind of gray. My sister would tell me stories about how my mother looked before I got here, till I began to equate her pink with her joy, meaning I learned how to steal someone's happy before I took my first breath. And I think this is why I have always felt like the death of the party, the buzzkill. My mother was a monochromatic heaven turned gray skies and downpour. And me, a storm cloud, carrying reminders of past mistakes. Pink has always been my favorite color. I wonder if I fell in love with the pieces of my mother I never got to see, or if I'm just trying to Crayola her joy back into this world. And as I have that thought, the universe paints the skyline pink, as if to say, as long as I am here, her pink exists somewhere. Reminds me once I was her bundle of joy. I see her in smiles and flowers and sunsets, my mother, my favorite color, and me, her paintbrush, ready to Picasso this world, pink joy and black love, an abstract portrait of all my mother was and all I continued to be. And this is along the same lines. When I say I am sorry, it is not an apology. It is the way I've learned to introduce myself. I came into this world through destruction, C-section scars, and constant reminder. All the things you wanted and didn't get. A question hanging in the air amongst pink and blue balloons. I don't remember the party, but I remember the way your heart beat when you said, "It's a girl." How you spiraled into thoughts of lace and pearls, ponytails and high heels. Thoughts of a mini you. Did not imagine this. Baggy jeans and dirty nails, hoop dreams and broken promise. Your bundle of joy turned a heap of sadness. Once, you told me you got the son you never wanted, and I wonder how someone can give birth to regret. Congratulations. It's a disappointment. I imagined a gender reveal party in the corner of your memory up in smoke, you rushing to douse the flame with all the love you could muster. How often do you miss the little girl you envision? Does she hide under your tongue every time you say, "I love you"? When did acceptance become the casket you buried her in? Cremated remains of a gender reveal on fire, and most days, I just wish I could thank you, sacrificing your dreams for mine, to say, I am grateful. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Yeah. Did you want to do another small short one, Shaki? But that was bars after bars after bars, you guys. You need to buy her book. That's all I can say about that.
No, I don't have another one.
All right. So we'll save you for round two because I know she got 450 poems on her phone alone. So yes, she got poems. All right, Allie, you are up now, and then we will break and we'll bring up our featured reader tonight, Taurin V, and his incredible book, The Dark Muse Chronicles. Strap in, don't go anywhere. Send the live out. Make sure people are here. Get them in the room so they can see the chat. Because if you're watching live on Facebook, you can't see the chat. So you got to be here for that. All right, Allie, welcome to The Word is Right. Where are you coming to us from?
I'm in Calgary, Canada. Currently.
Let's go, Canada! All right, welcome to The Word is Right. Glad to have you. And
Thank
take it
you.
away.
Yeah, I'm just here for my brother Taurin. Congratulations. I'm excited for your show. Oh, there's JC. Anyways, I have a couple short ones. This one's from my recent book, Heart Nuggets. And then I have one that's kind of yeah, you'll see. Expansion. Flowers bloom in her chest when watered with words that make her feel seen. As she speaks, colors exude in patterns that make her lover feel heard. The dreams come alive inside her eyes, lighting up the fragile glass castle around her heart. Ribs dissolve to free her from the cage of disbelief that she is unlovable, with all her scars and shadows exposed for the world to see. Trust whispers to doubt. Doubt fades to faith. Faith turns to momentum and says, "What are you waiting for?" Okay, so this next one is actually on my Instagram, so I'm just gonna maneuver over there. So I posted it after Taurin does his Free as Pan on Sunday. and I wrote it to his backdrop that he has, that I told him to put on his backdrop. So I will pull that up. As I watch the swirling paint dance circles on the screen, forming patterns like smoke dripping, an assortment of colors on canvas, like my life in a lava lamp, glowing sporadically, smearing paint with words that drop from my mind's eye into circles around my heart, reflecting on how I drape my personality like a palette, a symphony of tie-dye shirts, blowing in the wind on a clothesline as the sun dries the wet garment. Wet wind blowing, dark and light dualities dancing in the dawn of the day, my mind twirling in circles. So I lay on the grass, my body pressed gently as the earth received me, becoming life's composition, designs blending, nature with nature, from grass to sky, head to toes, landscapes of beauty, only visible through the third eye, a collector's item, limited edition, masterpiece in the making. Thank you for listening.
Yes, y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for Allie tonight, please. Welcome to the Word is Night, Greta Greenberg.
Good to hear you tonight, and I'm glad to see somebody from Canada. It's nice.
Yay, representing Canada. So is
Yeah,
Ramrock. He's here.
I'm so excited because in this launch, in the 2024 Debut Poets launch, we have Kelly Mary McAllister, and she's from Calgary. In the summit that we're having here in September in New Mexico, we have Josephine Lauret coming down. She's driving down as well, all the way from Canada. So, hey, if
I might be driving then too.
You should come. You should come down.
Yeah.
You could caravan with her. You know, she's gonna go through Wyoming, Colorado, and come down to us. So if that's something
Can you
wanna
send me
do,
her contact?
Josephine Lauret's, if you're on Facebook, you can so here, let me do this. I'm gonna put my email in the chat. It's just Marissa at redorgreenbooks.com,
Okay.
but red READ. All right. And so no, that's not what I wanted. What the heck is Zoom doing? It's like inputting something weird. All right. There's my email. Feel free to email me and I can connect you to and perhaps you two can figure out what to do. It would be wonderful if Kelly Mary McAllister could get down here as well. But at least I know Josephine Lauret is coming. It's a 3-day summit. We're doing a staycations before and after the event. It's this awesome thing here. I'll put the website in the chat as well. If anyone wants to check out the event, look at the lineup of who's going to be here. We have poets coming from London, from Mexico, all over the US, and of course Canada. So you want to come down and hang out, Tora, that means you got to get your butt here. If Allie's coming from Canada, that means you got, but we're just I-40 west. You just got to get on the 40 and go west until you hit New Mexico, and we're right here. It's not that, it's not that bad, not really. We're a straight shot down I-40. But it would be so incredible. We have some of the best poets in the world coming for this summit this year. I cannot express to you how much you need to be here this year. All right, so I'm super excited to introduce the Dark Muse Chronicles, Taurin V. This is his incredible book. This is all of his artwork, and it's filled on the inside. Again, it's filled with beautiful artwork. It's so moving. It's so lovely. I mean, this man has just been a joy to work with, and his work is just phenomenal. So I'm excited to hear him perform. There are going to be 3 online events for this book launch: April, June, and August. The dates are already set. The times are already set. So please keep your eyes and ears peeled. Save the dates, save the times, and come support the artists and as they're launching this year. It's very exciting to be able to do that. So I'm going to read a little bit about Taurin, and then I'm going to bring him up to do his set. Taurin, you've got 30 minutes, but you don't have to take the whole time if you don't want to. If you need to go over, that's okay too. This is your time. This is your feature tonight. Taurin V is a first-time author who hails from the city of RVA. His journey with poetry started with a trip to the library in middle school and a Nikki Giovanni poem. That was the spark that led him to pick up the pen and try to put words together on paper. He has been writing on and off since his teenage years, but did not start sharing with the world until 2008. He began posting poems online and meeting other poets. He started writing a book soon after, but it never quite came together until now, thanks to the support of so many fellow poets along the way. He is a dad, a veteran, hip hop, and jazz head, a proud blurred, a woodworker, a novice film and TV enthusiast, a lover of all types of art, and of course, poetry. You can find him on Instagram at taurin.v, and you can find his website at taurinv.com. Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for our featured reader tonight, the one and only Taurin V.
What's up? What's up?
Go Taurin!
Okay, first I gotta ask, am I just gonna just read? It's not gonna be no breaks. You're not gonna ask me no questions, no comments. Like how's it going down?
Usually your feature set is just a full set of your work. You're welcome to accompany it with commentary, preludes. If there's anything that you want to discuss between your poems, that's fine. If you would like audience participation, you're also welcome to ask for audience participation. And if you really would like the Q&A, I mean, we usually do the interactive like Q&A stuff during book club, but if you would like to ask questions or offer questions, to the room tonight at the end, you're totally welcome to do this. It is your feature set, Taurin, so I will let you decide how you want this time to be.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit of participation, or this is gonna be a real short feature. You know what I mean? Because I don't write like really super long poems, so we're just gonna see how it goes. I want to acknowledge my Poetry Club fam. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I see you, Queen JC. I see you, Ali Pods. I see you, LA Walker, Lil Bell, Deep Thought the Lyricist, the Great Ramrock. I love y'all, and thanks for coming out. So, we're gonna just go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna do this piece that I wrote as kind of like a primer for people that haven't heard me before, to kind of like, okay, this is what he's about with the pen. So I don't really title many of my pieces, but this one has a title. It's called A Reintroduction of the Unfamiliar. My avatar is oddly shaped, a purposely asymmetrical thing with angles that seem too thorny to be grasped, an imperfect picture painted with peculiar precision, using watercolor teardrops that cascade down a carefully crafted mass, dripping disjointed diatribes and soaking esoteric confessions with supremely superfluous syntax, autographical expressions of tribulations buried in shallow graves, spontaneous splatters of anguish on a sullied canvas, marked with undeciphered innuendo, messages frantically scrawled on walls, hastily constructed to conceal the turmoil behind a stoic demeanor that belies secrets clamoring for liberation. Bear witness to my emotions uncloaked, full frontal honesty on display, intimate language that can't be unheard, explicit snapshots of my soul intentionally leaked, fragments of my story scattered skillfully throughout uncoupled lines, intentionally dropped, left to be followed like breadcrumbs, meticulously manufactured morsels of my life best consumed with an empty mind, slices of time that slide off my tongue with the express purpose of watering down willful ignorance of my mischances, removing the sheet from the wretched tales I keep within arm's reach, tempting ghosts and antagonizing my demons, unconcerned with the true stories on their undead lips. My emotions are oxymorons, energized by agony, sensibility subject to wavering fates, the progeny of the uncertain circumstances that linger after the last word of my prayers, defeatist echoes from another chapter of my story, drowned out by the new noise unbridled idealism makes. As humble beginnings emerge, cognizant of their wings for the first time, prospects of transcendence surround my restored vision. Revelations of my tamest dreams encompass within this misshapen vessel.
Whew, let's go, Taurin. Let's go. My emotions are oxymorons. Let's go. Yes.
Okay. That went pretty well. So, what I'm gonna do now is I am going to read the very first piece in my book, the Dark Muse Chronicles. This piece is always going to be special. It's the first piece I ever read in front of people live at the Poetry Club live event last year in October. It was a whole situation. It was amazing experience. So it's my first time ever getting on stage. So this piece is always going to be special. I mean, I can't say that it's the piece that started it all as far as the book, but I think it's like, you know, it kind of tipped the scales and said, okay, we doing this. So I don't have titles for any of these pieces. It was meant to just flow together. So just kind of bear with me. She had me wrapped around her shattered spirit, worshiping the jagged pieces, manifesting the dubious destiny while tethered to her fluctuating intimations, absorbing the erratic energy that kinetically forced us to opposing boundaries, into an undefined state that signified nothing, engaged to the fantasy of us, anticipating the raining of the rice, but left standing at the altar, directionless, desperately defiant in the face of the obvious, resolute in my radicalism, fighting tooth and nail to stake a claim in the abstract, but only managing to occupy real estate adjacent to the unremembered, in the midst of the asunder, many moons away from the center of her heart, where the air is brisk and the light is obscured by the looming shadow of her indifference. Our catastrophic uncoupling was the consequence of a crippling epiphany, a swan song sung by a psychotic siren, a final goodbye wordlessly communicated, executed with excruciating silence, followed by the stillness that coincides with catharsis and the settling of the seas that churned within me, the purifying of contaminated prophecies contained within the book of her, revelations that refuse to be restrained, ushering in an awakening of self-sustaining clarity, undeniable as gravity, a final premonition unraveled in real time, an ageless love lost in the unmerciful embrace of oblivion, unable to escape the void between enduring fervor and expendable infatuation. So she became my dark muse. That's that poem. Okay, so I just need y'all to like say something.
Yeah,
Taurin.
Go, Taurin.
Taurin, I really liked. You
Yes,
had a.
let's go, Taurin. Woo, woo, woo. All right, so
don't know
y'all
if you-
feel free to unmute in between his poems and give him some love.
Great work, Taurin. Thus far, I'm enjoying your feature, and I just want to tell you, you probably didn't see it in the chat, but I really liked the Shakespeare reference that was kind of truncated, so people really had to be listening to catch what you did.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so that piece in particular, like I said, I'm always gonna have an attachment to it. You know, it was the first, like I said, the first piece I ever performed, the first piece I ever like practiced, and I remember Deep Thought, you know, he was like, "Yo, let's hear it," and I went outside and I did it for him, and you know, he gave me some tips and he coached me up, so you know, I'm always gonna be shout out to him for that. So yeah. That's the first piece in the Dark Muse Chronicles. So when you get it, you know, you already heard it. So I'm gonna move it on to the next piece. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this one. Like I said, I don't really do the title thing, so I'm just gonna get into it. What has yet to come stands in the umbra of familiar stories with stagnated refrains, tired tales that knot hopeful tongues, as the future waits quietly for the chance to liberate truths from the bottom of wounded hearts, emancipating spirits from solo slow dances, placing flowers on the graves of dreams that couldn't be saved, bringing about the rapture for conflicted minds, leaving unworthy thoughts of failure behind, letting a little light through the crack in the prison door, demonstrating that slim chances often dance on the edges of things hoped for, but fantasies unimagined die on the steps of abundant possibilities. When you shed the random entanglements that conspire to ensnare your elevation in fictitious foolishness and escape into your purpose, you will begin to levitate with a lifted voice, leaving gravity lonely, a problem for mortals to ponder as you calculate the coordinates to the Milky Way. Exist in transcendence, rise to occasions not yet encountered, lead with your heart like love is your sixth sense. Forget so you can make room for memories not yet made. Smile even when the happiness you envision hasn't arrived just yet. Wear a cloak of grace that covers you when the inevitable rain starts to fall. Close your eyes and go to any paradise you choose. Acknowledge the pain in passing, but go stronger with each defiant step. Make this life into an imperfect dream that sways towards answered prayers, carrying you over the summit of your collected miseries into a season of change that starts whenever you decide to stand.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yes, Taurin.
Would you entertain a question, Taurin? I don't want to break up the flow of your feature.
No, we good. Yeah, let's go.
Well, there's something I've noticed in the first few poems you've done just thus far in the set. A careful listener is going to notice that you're putting a lot of weather in your poems. You're putting a lot of science in your poems, references to mathematics, to equations, to things that are generally filed in bookstores as this is metaphysical, this is spiritual or metaphysical in some sort of way. And it leads me to ask you, outside of poetry, can you name one or two bands, like rock bands or famous bands, that you might have considered having some kind of influence on you as you started? I can hear influences, but I'm wondering if you'd say them.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one because I'm a hip hop head. I mean, like, I was basically raised by hip hop. That's where my pen came from. So like 90s hip hop is what kind of shaped my pen, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many, there's so many to name, you know.
Sure.
You know, I mean,
There's
anything. Go ahead.
I was just going to volunteer. I'm not what I would refer to myself as a huge hip hop fan. However, one band that had a massive influence on me when I was a youngster, and they were a 90s hip hop group, was De La Soul.
Okay.
Because they had a lot of what you might call almost like hippie, metaphysical, a lot of code language, a lot of inner language that's just into their own Long Island vibe. But also just it was just incredibly accessible, especially the first album. I wonder if that resonates with you. And I'll take my question off the air, or my answer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, De La Soul, part of the Native Tongues. You know, the whole Native Tongues had that vibe. So they're definitely in there with me. I mean, Tribe Called Quest was like it, you know, like in early 90s. You know, obviously like Wu-Tang. Um, I love Outkast a lot, you know, if we're just talking groups. It's just so many, it's so many dope artists, so many lyrics. I'm a fan of lyricism, for obvious reasons. So um if your pen was, you know, was like that in the 90s, I was gonna be, you know, kind of attracted to not necessarily all the mainstream people. I mean, I can talk about people like Lord Finesse, you know what I mean? You know, got Big Daddy Kane, you got Rakim. I mean, you got all these people that just, you know, I'm just absorbing it all as a young person, you know. So when it came my time to start writing, that was my bar to, you know, like, okay, can you get to Big Daddy Kane level? You know what I'm saying? Can you get to
Yes.
KRS One level? You know, like all these people, I'm hearing them constantly when I'm, you know, in middle school, high school, early 20s. So like that was my bar when I started writing. And I would
I
say,
hear that. I hear that
yeah.
for sure. Especially I hadn't thought of it until you mentioned his name, but KRS-One for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, hip hop raised my pen, you know, um it's as far as, you know, how I learned how to write or how I aspired to write. That's where it comes from.
Thank you very much.
Yep. All right, let me see. So that was actually two poems sewed together, and I remember I did one on Round Rock show. I can't, probably the Wednesday show, and then I did the other one with Queen JC on her show from a prompt that she gave out like many moons ago. I don't know. So yeah, a lot of this stuff, um, it came about from the Poetry Club family, whether going on their shows or you know, doing prompts or just whatever. A lot of this stuff, that's where it comes from. So I'm going to get into another setup. It's actually a set of poems, you know, because a lot of the poems in the book are very short. So this is a set of a couple of them that's kind of weaved together from the book. That I just kind of put together. So I'm just scrolling through. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, these are all from the book. So here we go. When I listen to the sound of wandering whispers, mocking mellow winds, I hear her moans meandering in the night. Under new moons, I envision strolls down infinity lane, beginning voyages into her eyes that do not end. Conversations that cruise past conventional measurements of time into a oneness with nothingness. Now she is all that remains. She propelled me into a paradox with just a peck from her lips, conjuring a maelstrom of mixed emotions, contradictory constructs designed to distract, false flag operations launched from the tip of her hesitant tongue, unleashing anarchy like placing certainty and confusion into a centrifuge and fleeing as it spins out of control. producing a noxious compound strong enough to assassinate love 10 times over. She said she was perplexed by my touch, transported to an unfamiliar place, besieged by unexpected sensations, breaching the walls of her imagination, challenging her fears to a duel to the death, mocking the likelihood of martyrdom with just a stroke of a finger. Her sighs were like a symphony of unvoiced opinions, elusive answers stranded behind curled lips, searching for the gaps in her deceptions, trying to enter the conversation unnoticed and meekly insinuate the unmistakably apparent. She was a strategic silence savant, adept at covertly conveying her confliction, convoluted conceptions leaking from her countenance, displaying darkened truths that doomed new dawns to premature graves. She was a conduit for chaos, an uneven entity that left my world unbalanced. As she reveled in ambiguity, her undefined desires a North Star that led to non-existence. She was everything and nothing, an incomplete sentence acknowledged but unsaid, the riddle that ran away.
Fire.
Not too wrong. Many shots for that.
This room is too grown for me. I feel like I need to get a couple of dictionaries. These words,
Brooklyn,
the
you're fine.
conduit, all these, what he's used, maelstrom, and God knows what else kind of words that I normally don't use in my vocab. I'm just saying. I'm thinking I should just leave.
Brooklyn, you better stay. You better stay. And
I
you
don't even know, man.
You don't gotta put his words
This
in your
room
mouth.
right here is so grown.
No, Erica, we love you. This is your room too. You do not need to feel less than. This is these are learning opportunities to learn and grow together. It has. Please do not feel less than, because
And I
you are.
thought, yeah, I thought Ramrock was bad, and then I heard Whisper.
Yeah.
You know,
They're all
I was going to say,
Kelly
this is-
McAllister, Rich. I'm like, good God.
Erica, it's
Glad
all
you're
the
here.
eclecticism, the eclectic nature of this particular reading. And although I will piggyback off what you said, and I gotta say, I just gotta put my hands up, because Taurin, I don't know the last time I heard anybody use the word centrifuge in anything
Thank
here,
you.
and I am just loving that, because you made me visualize literally test tubes full of blood whirring around until everything is broken down, and I love it.
Thank you so much.
You're
Oh
welcome.
my God, the growth of words, my God.
I'm just saying, Erica, you're loved and you're wanted, and you are well deserving of this space. So please do not feel like you don't deserve to be here. Yes, you do. These are just, everyone is different. They all have their different voices. Their pens are all different, but you are welcome here. You deserve a place here. We love you. So please do not feel like this is not the space for you, because we love you. He cannot read a poem like you can. I'm just gonna say that. We love Taurin, but he ain't got Brooklyn's voice. Brooklyn could read you stereo instructions and it shall make you melt. So I mean, to each his own. We all got our own things. Taurin's pen is sharp, so I hope you can sharpen your sword on his.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right,
Tori, keep going. Let's go.
All right, so let's get a little political for a minute here. I haven't read this one in a long time, so yeah, I kind of like this one too, so I'm gonna read this one. The silent majority has spoken with a whimper underlined with bloodlust, but bereft of self-reflection. or a modicum of compassion, blazing a trail that leads to malicious murder under the guise of self-defense, airmailing innocent souls to forever's doorstep, kissing mayhem on the lips, consummating calamity, canceling desperately deserved catharsis, combining anger and apathy, creating a crippling concoction eagerly consumed by consummate cowards, breathing life into forsaken fallacies easily disproved with the flick of a page. For difficult to digest truths lay in wait, ready to strike down asinine arguments or contrarian contrivances that conspire to gaslit gut feelings, numbing spider senses, hoping to leave their intended target defenseless in the struggle to define the victors of this zero-sum game, partially played with participants whose power prompts preemptive strikes that shake earthly abodes, rattling the cages of those confined to concrete jungles and comfortable circumstances alike, creating an untenable atmosphere agitated by antagonistic attitudes held by the inhabitants of a house perpetually divided, whose patriotic prognostications belie the facts which unequivocally states blood and soul cannot sustain a nation or conceal the circumstances behind its birth. What is the point of this exercise? Square pegs and round holes can never reconcile themselves, just as crimson-stained garments will never be laundered clean. Cross-cultural pollination and altered genetics have failed to dull communal pain, unconsciously expressed through translucent histrionics, counterfeit nationalism guided by decomposing living documents, cause hit dogs to holler at equality's silhouette, distorted identities foster malignant mind states, misguided voices amplified enough to awaken the descendants of unrest, who stand with raised fists, blackened fingernails, and battered knuckles, banging on haphazardly hung doors, loudly churning the sensibilities of opposing spirits, toppling insecurities disguised as ideologies, lifting hypocrite skirts while realizing artificial sweeteners make the status quo easier to stomach, and unrealized potential and empty affirmations infect the zeitgeist, a body politic sicken, becoming unsteady, gripping the porcelain, vomiting all that is virtuous into the void, leaving only bile and vitriol to feed the ever-starving behemoth that devoured empathy, leaving us to exist in the emptiness that remains.
Yes, indeed.
Let's go, Taurin. Let's go.
Taurin, can I ask you another question? At the risk of overstaying my welcome, I got to ask you another question if it's okay.
Okay, I'm good.
So it's kind of a two-part, it's a statement and a question, and I'll be quick. So first of all, translucent histrionics. I picked up on that phrase. It was gorgeous. And that could either be the name of an album by Rush or Prince Paul. It's amazing how that could fit either venue, literally. What classic American authors stuck with you from like grade school and high school? Any specific writers like science fiction or anything like that?
So, Nikki Giovanni was the first poet that I ever discovered, right? So like she's always gonna have a place in my heart. I was into comics, growing up and stuff like that. Anything like fantasy, sci-fi, all that kind of stuff like that. I was very random. I didn't read like sets of books or nothing like that. It was kind of just like, kind of like whatever. So yeah, that was kind of my jam. Greek mythology, when I was like really little, my mom used to take me to the library. I'm going straight to the Greek mythology and I'm just, in there just nerding out on, like all the different creatures and gods and all stuff like that. So I've always been kind of just, out there.
I had
what I
an
mean?
early fascination with Greek mythology myself, and I completely get the appeal because, in a way, when they talked about what these gods could do or did, what did that sound like if it didn't sound like comic superheroes?
Right. Exactly. 100%. Yeah. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
that was kind of like the lead in, to the comics, and stuff like that. And surprisingly enough, when I was like younger, I used to have to just beg for one comic from my parents. So like going to the library was like, okay, let me find something comic like in here to spark my interest. So that might have been part of it too.
Love it. Thank you.
Yep. So I know my Poetry Glove fam, they got to get out of here pretty soon. So I'm just gonna shout them out. Deep Thought the Lyricist, Sensational Saturday is about to go down in what 22 minutes. Every Saturday on Instagram. Follow them, check them out. We're gonna do a live performance on April the 13th in New York City. If you're, in the area, you can hit me up. You can hit JC up, Lobel, Deep Thought, any of us, we'll fill you in. We got a retreat going on in October as well. So we got the information for all that. So I just wanted to get that part out before they get out of here. You guys can hit them up, exchange information or whatever real quick and stuff like that. So I just wanted to get that out the way. Okay. Anybody else got anything? I'm here for questions. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay.
Also, Taurin, your workshop,
Oh
your
yeah, I
writing
forgot.
session.
I forgot about my own stuff. So tomorrow, on Zoom, I do it's called Free Your Pen, Poems and Conversation with Taurin V. It's always a vibe. We write live, we do poetry exercises. We have a lot of fun. So if you're interested, you got time, hit me up. I'll be glad to have anybody that can come through. And I do it every other week. So doing it this week and then 2 more weeks.
So
Okay.
is a fee?
No, absolutely free. Like I said, hit me up, on Instagram,
Is it on
Taurin.v.
Facebook or Instagram? Oh,
It's
okay,
on
so you go live on IG and that's how people find it?
no,
How can people
yeah, hit me up on IG and I will get you the information, or I can give you information now. And we do it on Zoom though. Yeah, because the Poetry Club, we're based on IG, so that's our center. So
All right, so you guys go find him, Taurin V on Instagram. If you have trouble finding him, you can hit us up on The Word Is Right or Red or Green Books, and we can get you in touch with Taurin. And then Taurin, if you're able to put that stuff in the chat while you're here tonight, the people who are here, they usually save the chat, so they have a record of those things, and they can come and attend your workshop.
okay, all right, we'll I don't want to get too sidetracked, so we'll work it out. We'll work it out. So y'all ready for another piece? Okay, cool. Got it. All right. All right. So this is another one. Different subject matter though. It started with little fanfare, a nascent inkling, subject to changing winds and whims, dangling like a participle ready to be plucked, riding the momentum created by closely guarded desires towards infatuation that blooms in all seasons, growing exponentially until it consumes the space between what was and what shall be, leaving behind only foggy recollections of walks alone along the edge, while introducing thoughts of warmth and oneness, contemplations of synchronous heartbeats and breathless conversations, creating unbalanced questions that fall into the embrace of the inevitable, where magnetic memories materialize, solidifying the beautiful insanity that tucks logic into its deathbed and births the everlasting want, a longing for precious proximity, igniting an unyielding tenderness that fosters a mortal affection, vanquishes time and renders space immaterial, ending solitary odysseys before replacing the specter of rejection with boundless bliss that spans from the here and now to forevermore. She sang to me like early morning birds, beckoning love to awaken and marvel at the newness of burgeoning desire, every note dripping with honey, buzzing about until they found the perfect spot to land gracefully, spoiling my appetite for anything else, with a sticky, sweet tone that fooled me into believing I was full. As empty urges settled in, pressing me to beg for another song, as I wasted away, surviving only off her emaciated affections, lacking the richness that once resonated from her throat, day after day, until the time came when she decided to sing no more.
Let's go, you guys. Let's go. Give it up for Taurin V.
Taurin, I got to tell you, I am just so glad. What happened to my light? I am just so glad that I was invited by Marissa for tonight's thing, because I think I've seen your name, but I haven't heard you before, and I just got to say you have a jam-packed approach to your lyricism and your references, what you're referencing in your work, and it's really great. And I just wanted to tell you, there's a writer who's an American canonical writer who you probably already know, but I don't know if you do, so I'm not gonna. I would assume you know who Wallace Stevens is and you're familiar with his work. Are you familiar with Wallace Stevens? When you can, get your hands on a collection of his selected works, Wallace Stevens, because I don't think I have heard any writer in the time that I've been attending these whose work makes me feel what I first felt when I started working with Wallace Stevens's work. He happens to be the writer who inspired me the most in terms of creative titling of poems. And but the work is just stunning, and I think you would really dig what he did. This guy is like turn of the century, so it's old hat, but deservedly classic, and I think you'd dig it.
Okay, I wrote it down. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Thank you.
I appreciate the tip.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad you came, Rich. Right? Like I send these lives out because to the people who I know would really, really love to be here and hear these poets. And I'm like, y'all need to come. You need to meet this guy. I mean, we haven't done the Meet the Poets yet. It's going to be in April. So, Rich, you got 3 more chances. Plus, Taurin is going to be the book club author of the month in June of this year. So you can get his book for $5 off in the month of June. And you get another feature set from him in June. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things we have lined up for Taurin this year. So excited. And I'm really glad that you're here supporting and that you're meeting each other, because this is what it's about, right? It's about meeting people who you would have never had the opportunity to come across if you weren't here in the room. And Taurin is amazing. Not just his work, like he is amazing. I've had a really great time working with him. And so I'm super excited for him and for his book. All right, Taurin, we've been going for a hot minute. If you want to do another piece, you're welcome to. If you want us to go to do a second round and then do a final to close us out, that's fine too. If you want to do a piece now and close us out later, that's fine. You just let me know, because I know some of your people have to move on. You know, they got other things that they're going to do tonight, so I don't want to cut it early tonight because they're here supporting, but I know that they do have to move to other shows tonight.
Yeah. So how much? I went 30 minutes already. That was really fast.
Yeah. So I have you, Mark. Actually, like, bro, you're almost at you're like right at 30 minutes. So I have you mark at 7:09, which puts you just shy of 30 minutes. So Well, it puts you like at 40 minutes, almost 40 minutes. Like,
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, yeah.
but
We
that's
can
okay because people like Rich Boucher come through and they ask all these questions, and
yeah,
I'm
no,
just
it's fine.
we love you. And it does take away from the feature, and so I don't want that to impact your time, but I also
No,
do want to
no.
be mindful of the people. So if you want to do a piece, and then we'll go back to the open mic list, and we'll let anyone who wants to read in round 2 can read in round 2, and then hopefully Taurin will stay and we'll do an encore piece to close the show tonight. How's that
Okay.
sound?
That's fine.
Okay.
But I just
Okay.
want to let you know that you're getting, like I said, some of these are normally when I read really short pieces and I'm out. Like, so like I'm I'm giving you a lot. Like, this is like, if this was a normal, like, okay, just give me some poems, we would have been done like 15, 20 minutes ago. So, I'm just letting you know, like, this is not the norm. Like, normally if you
I
ask
love
me,
it.
I'm gonna read my
I
piece
love it. Like,
and that's
this is what I want, though. And then you're right, because our meetings are usually short. Which I love this, though. I love this. So do another piece. We'll go back to the open mic list, which means whisper. I'll go ahead and put the list in the chat if anyone, so if you don't want to read, that's fine. If you do want to read, that's fine too. But so go ahead and do a piece, Taurin. I'll put the list for round 2 in the chat, and then whoever falls off or whoever doesn't want to read, and then we'll have you come in and close us out with an encore. Okay.
okay. All right. I got one more for you. That's fine. All right. It is the enemy of the unrelenting longing, what's left when faith fails and discontent steps onto the stage, the crestfallen creation of staggered disappointments, time-delayed devastations that devour hope, the sum of self-fulfilling fears. It is a festering wound infected with a long memory, leaking unfortunate moments and somber stories better left untold. The acrid agony that follows misplaced affections, an implosion inside your chest at the moment the dreadful news is unexpectedly delivered. It is the slippery slope that hastens the descent into unceasing sadness, a white-hot poker primed to pierce undeserving souls, the bitter pill that becomes the inception of lingering sickness. It taps on the windows of contentment in the dark hours before dawn, begging to crawl between your sheets and gently stroke your insecurities, holding you tight until the nightmares arrive, replaying worst-case scenarios that refuse to sleep. It is the aftermath of first love's demise, a post-apocalyptic missive scrawled on a scarred spirit, the final blow callously delivered, a beginning to finality, a hideous reminder of the cruelty cradled in the arms of ordinary lives. It answers to many wicked names, but we choose to call it heartbreak.
Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for our feature tonight, the one and only Taurin V, and his incredible book.
Yeah,
The
let's
Dark
go,
Muse
Taurin.
Chronicles.
Well done, sir.
Yes,
Very well done.
Congratulations, love.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you have your book already. Oh my God. I was like, I got it. And the next day I shipped it out to him. Like, y'all, that's the beauty of working with small presses. Like, we can do a lot more of these like timely things. And it's a stunning book, y'all. He has gloss pages. They're the 80-pound gloss photo paper. It is just absolutely stunning the artwork that he has included in this book. You do not want to not have this book. Not only is it poetry, but it is artwork. Support the poet. Please, please get his book. And if you want to wait until June, you can. Because it's going to be $5 off, but I know, don't wait until June. Get your signed copy. He'll send you it. Hit him up, taurinv.com, and on Instagram you can order your copy. He will sign it and send it to you. So please just do that. Let's go support the poets, support what they're doing. It costs nothing to share a social media post. It costs nothing to go live and say, hey, please buy my friend's book. So just support the artist, the author. And the launch, right? I mean, Taurin is launching with 10 other debut authors from around the world. So it's a really, really incredible opportunity. All right, let's go back to the open mic list. I got Whisper, Rachel, Rich, Shocky G, Ali, Ramrock, MD Live in the house, Anthony Harris. At least I hope Anthony Harris is MD Live, because that's the only Anthony Harris I know is MD Live, who is another RGB author, and the one and only Erica Floyd. And then we will bring up Taurin to give us an encore to close us out tonight. All right. Oh, and I forgot. If we were in a cafe or a brewery, right, we would have the hat going around and we would say, please tip the performer, tip the feature tonight, right? So we're going to send the proverbial hat around the room. If you could dip into your pockets. Taurin, do you have a Cash App or PayPal where people can send you tips tonight?
Yes, I have Cash App. I forgot the name of my cash. I forgot the name of my cash app. Hold on a second. I think it's Taurin V94. Let me see. Yeah, $ Taurin V94.
All right. Now, if you do not have Cash App, if you have PayPal, Venmo, or something else, reach out to us at The Word Is Right or Red or Green Books. You can send us funds through Venmo, PayPal. We've even had poets mail in checks before that we have then forwarded on to the artists. So there is zero excuse not to support the poets. You know, $3, $4, $5, $50, whatever. Buy Taurin a gallon of gas. Buy him a cup of coffee. You know, if you think that sending him $5 is fucking cheap, you're fucking wrong. Because if everyone who thought that sending Taurin $5 was fucking cheap actually sent him $5, it would be a lot different story, right? I think sometimes we get caught up in feeling like we need to do everything all the time, and that is an impossible task. But if we all do a little bit each time, it makes a huge difference in how we are paying artists and authors for their work. You could always just buy his book, get a signed copy shipped to your house, and support him in that endeavor. So Cash App, Taurin V94, and that'll be a wonderful tip for our feature this evening. All right. Let's go. Yes, please, please, please order his book. All right, Whisper Poet, are you ready?
Yes, my sister. The Sound of Music. I tried to get you out of my head. I can't. The missing pieces of my soul are a black hole that suck the grief into me like a drain in my chest, passing through me, destined for the graveyard my heart has become. I grieve you. As I'm driving along in this car, trying to listen to music, but everything reminds me of you. Desperately changing stations. Try to find a song we didn't sing, but the radio is an asshole and I can't escape the memories of conversations about bands and songs and music history and the impressive plethora of musical minutiae that filled your head and flowed effortless from your fingertips to fascinate me. Restless energy fills me, anxiety, like ants scurrying through my veins for tiny crumbs of the bread you didn't eat because you were on keto. Tired of crying. I've bled an ocean of tears and they won't stop coming. It's high tide. Can I drown in saline? It seems possible from where I sit. in this cockpit of despair, because the music seems to bind me tighter to my memories of you. That trail is worn and familiar, and I hate it. I can't seem to stop. It's self-flagellation, but my whip is not made of leather. It's made of musical notes braided together in a flow that flays flesh from my bones. I can't forget how we loved so unequivocally. I bathed in you when I awoke, brushed my teeth with your smile, dressed in you from head to toe, draped in the potent passion of your love, breathed and worked and ate and floated on the sound of your voice, promising me that I was the roadmap to your soul's destination. We laughed like we invented it. I drive and listen and remember our own brand of shorthand, the way we finished each other's thoughts and relished our in-jokes. I revel in the pain of reliving our us against the world moments when we were the only two people on the planet. We shut the world out and immersed ourselves in us, soaked in our vibe. I marinated myself until your flavor became my own. Take a bite of me and I will bleed your name from my flesh. Blood, tears, and sweat. Is there any substance I excrete that isn't made of the remains of my love for you and this music? Every song reminds me of how I felt when I was yours. Every song sends me to the floor because it's over. You've closed every door and every window, every crack of light extinguished. I'm driving down this road and echoes of songs past take my breath. It's like wandering through the parlor of our abandoned mansion. It's a house we built together and filled with our words and laughter and light and love. Now it echoes with an empty vastness that becomes thicker with dust day by day. Time has stopped here, and your chair sits empty, a sheet-covered ghost. I sit silently beside it and watch the shadows lengthen. The sun has set on our labyrinth. It's cold here without you to warm me. I'm still here. You're still gone. And the music plays on.
My girl. Did you say labyrinth and then musical minutia?
I did.
Jesus. It's, I am so hetero, but I'm telling you, I'm kind of like Gomez with Morticia with the French when you guys use these big words, these grown-up words. Lord. This might as well be erotic venue. I'm telling you. I love the big words.
Would you like to hear my
I
anti-disestablishmentarianism poem?
So
don't know if
Erica,
I ever
size
heard that.
matters to Erica. Now we know.
Yes, I love the big words.
She loves the big words.
I love the big words. Yes.
Yes.
Did I read that one, Marissa? It's only like 4 lines.
No, go ahead.
Okay, grab it. Brooklyn in the house.
This is awesome.
Brooklyn in the house. Brooklyn in the house only lives like 2 hours from me.
Dude, if she lived 2 hours from me, I would be down there every weekend hanging with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. She's amazing.
You guys are having this shindig around my birthday.
Yeah, and your birthday ought to be spent here. I'm just saying.
I am thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking.
Like if you celebrate your birthday over the course of a month, you could still celebrate it before you come and after you come, which is how women like to celebrate coming. I mean their birthdays.
Oh my God.
Ramrock knows what's up. Ramrock knows what he walked into when he came into my room tonight. It's been very sedate. It's been very chill because of Taurin. I want to respect him and his people. But like for real, yes, Erica, your birthday is still gonna be there when you get home.
And I've been trying to get the Cookie Man to commit to coming down there with me.
Cookie Man, no, don't.
She's got a cookie fetish. She wants some of Nemo's cookies.
Yes.
You have a cookie fetish, Erica?
Well, he promised me cookies. I want to see what he got.
I got cookies. I got cookies you could eat. Like for real. Let's go.
Let me tell you, That
I
man
hear
has
it.
got game when it comes to cookies too. Like, I'm not even kidding. That man is like, he has his own, it's like a Carolina chip, something that he made up. It's unreal.
We
Like,
need the cookie man here. But
he-
I feel really weird about saying I need a cookie man.
the cookie man.
A punk.
I need a cookie monster. That's what I need. I need a cookie monster. I don't need a cookie man. I need a cookie monster. All right, Whisper, did you find it?
I'm trying. Skip me and come back to me, and I'll read it just for Erica
All
in
right,
the
let's go.
house.
Let's keep going. All right, so Rachel, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Prickly pear heart, past the leaning horse corral, to the east, the place of beginnings, I search the rich, arid, desert spaces of my homeland for the sprawling bed of cacti, a childhood memorial, and I harvest a red prickly pear fruit and place it under my tongue, a miniature heart with hair-fine spines that burrow deep. Mouth is full of drought, blackened and swelling, so I suck the slivers stuck between my teeth to assuage thirst and spit out the desiccated words and tender heart. And do I have time for one more poem?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up.
And for those who are local, Rachel will be here in Albuquerque featuring a full set the second Wednesday of April. She's amazing. You don't want to miss her work. Okay, Rachel, sorry.
It's just taking me a few seconds to pull it up. I apologize.
So it'll be Tractor Wells Park here in Albuquerque. So the first Wednesday we usually have poetry and beer. The second Wednesday at Tractor is the New Mexico Premier Variety Showcase. So I'm hosting it in April. Rich, oh my God, Rich, you should come. And I probably could fit you. You want to come? You want to come read some poetry? You want to come hang out the second Wednesday? It's going to be awesome. So I'm hosting. I have this corset and this pink necktie and some fishnets. I'm just saying you should come hang out with us and maybe read some poetry.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Erica. Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes. So that's what we're doing in April here, but it's live in Albuquerque, so you got to get your butt here. And Rachel will be one of the featured readers, and Mary Bird is going to be here, and she's a comedian, and she's amazing. And then yeah, so there's a lot there. It's a lot of fun things happening in April. All right, Rachel.
Okay. Imitations of Burning, and this is written after Anne Sexton's Imitations of Drowning. You dreamt of drowning, a dying that went on and on, a gin-soaked dream that followed you into waking. You found novelty in fear, which you wrapped around yourself like a fur coat, stroking its coarse grain. I've no success with drowning. I'm only good at burning. I tried beating myself against a stone to strike a spark, but his hands crumbled into fists, grappled, flung me to the linoleum floor. I was mute coal, giving off residual heat. Even the grip of my son's mouth at my nipple, tugging a strand called maternal love, couldn't lead me to living. Dreams were bleak, underside of waking. I tried to smother frenetic thoughts underwater. No luck. Too shallow, too tame. My catalyst came, his vulgar love inciting want. I don't know how we did it, immersing ourselves into each other. Closest I've come to drowning. We couldn't sustain it, slipped through the eye of each other, through the boiling foam to find waking. You drowned on air, on being. My landscape is arid. Parched weeds rasp with faint stirring of evening. This is where I thrive, in the vibrancy of self-consumption, in the novelty of burning. Thank you.
That
Oh
was,
my God, you guys,
Golly.
unmute your mics, give it up for Rachel.
I don't,
Golly.
I'm speechless.
Woo!
That was so good.
Right, Erica?
Oh my
Rachel,
God. I
wow.
don't
I
know
am
who
such a
she
fan.
is.
Your words are insane, man.
That's crazy.
Beautiful.
Marissa, for inviting me. Thank you so much. Because I've never heard her before. That was awesome.
Thanks all. I appreciate being here and sharing with you and hearing your words as well.
And Rachel's here in Albuquerque, the same as Rich. So, like, Erica, you just fucking gotta be here. Like, I can't express the need to be here in September.
I know I'm getting upset finding out everybody that is going to be there. I feel like this is going to be the get together of the century or something. This is ridiculous.
Like last year, yes. So for anyone who did not see the movie, I took the 3-day summit and shrunk it down into an hour 16-minute movie. And we're going to do it again this year. But this year we're going to be cutting a pilot for Netflix. So like, I'm like, get your shit together. You guys gotta get your asses there. But to the camaraderie, right? The fact that people are in my home, we're doing Sunday dinner here and commiserating as a family is you're not going to find that at any other event. I don't know. I wake up in shock in the mornings. Like, how am I blessed with this life where these people want to be part of it? But it's an amazing thing, and I will be the best steward I can on this journey to bringing poets together. So if you can come. If you can't come, we'll still love you. I mean, we can only do what we could do, right, Erica? So don't get wrapped up too much about it. If you come, great. If you don't, that's all right. We still love you.
Maybe we need to get in the clown car and ride together cross country.
So for real, right? For real. Because
If it wasn't
there's
so far away. My God. I don't know how far
no,
is
you
it
guys
from
live far
South
away.
Carolina
You
to North
guys
Carolina?
live far away.
Come on now. We would
where
start talking. We would start talking, and 5 minutes later we would be there.
Yes.
I'd have
No,
to
I
have
mean,
a time
for
off
real,
of work.
it's a straight shot of I-40. It's a 1,400 miles. Like, it's not that hard. Like, but come if you can come, and if you can't, that's okay. We understand.
No, I'm gonna be if I can't. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking about it because I don't want to be upset. So anyway.
Yeah, I want you upset. I want your ass upset until September, Erica. I want your ass so upset that your ass finds its way here. Anyways, all right, I'll keep going. All right, next up we got Rich Boucher, and then Ramrock, and then AD Harris, also known as MD Live, also known as Anthony Harris in the house. And then we'll have Erica Floyd wrap us up, and then we'll have an encore from our wonderful feature, Taurin V. Are you ready, Rich?
Yes, I am. Okay. So I will just say that the resonance between what I'm about to read and what we just heard from Rachel is purely by coincidence. The only thing you need to know about this poem, which was published in the Fixed and Free Quarterly September 2023 volume, the only thing you really need to know going into this is that it's a true story. I own the video, and I watched it again the other night. This is called Bach Harpsichord Concerto in Milk Major. Perhaps the strangest thing about the lactation porn video is the music playing softly in the background. Mia and Kata, profoundly buxom blondes in matching gray patterned dresses, battle-worn by gargantuan cup sizes, play with each other's milk, squirting each other playfully and lesbianly in the obscenely ornate crimson and black German sitting room. The only light in this sacred place emanates yellowly and softly from a lily-shaped lamp resting on top of the black and gold harpsichord in the room. The whole scene is suffused with a luxuriant air of olden European times, and I am bewitched, fixed, and fuctated upon the sights. The majesty of all of this causes me to become, in a sense, my own grandfather in the war, and also me as a very, very young teen masturbating all at the very once. And while Mia and Kata's streams of breast milk, splashing across each other's tongues and generous sets of cleavage, are a pleasure to behold, it's the Bach harpsichord concerto in the background that stays with me, long after the girls and myself become finished at the end of the scene. What can change our worlds more quickly than a bit of music from a time gone long bye-bye? A sprightly piece of music, the number 6 in F major, the Sylvanian chords, the squiggly arpeggios all invite me to get dressed, to walk out of my door and out into a fairy tale forest. And I might just do that.
I don't even want to read now. I just don't.
No. Oh, hell no, you're reading, Erica.
I am so done.
You're not done. You're not done. You're saying
real.
no.
I don't even.
So since you use the verb fuctated, I want to know the definition of the word fuctatorial.
So I made up the word fuctated. I coined that. It's actually a coinage of my own from the poem. And all I can do is to say thank you to Nadine-J.de, which is the German lactation lesbian porn video website where I found that video, which is just full of women helping each other mutually express all over each other. It's just a delight.
I will tell you, as a woman,
say delight? It's a
yes,
delight.
Yes,
oh,
Erica.
He's so well mannered.
But
Oh
I
my
will
God.
tell you, like straight up, keeping it real for a woman who has had 2 children, and I breastfed both of them. When your breast is so big that it is so painful, you don't give a fuck how you get that out. You're like, just relieve it. Just stop the pain because it's exploding from the inside. There's only so much that your breast can handle.
Until I saw that video and those videos, I didn't have any idea exactly how much milk a woman's breast could contain.
Yes.
And these women were completely drenched at the end of it. Well, I mean, I was drenched too, but it was just such a beautiful,
oh my God,
a beautiful, loving portrayal.
Late night after hours. Oh my God. Yes, but for real, I would have been happy with a vacuum cleaner, the dog, or my neighbor. Like, I didn't care who wanted to plug in, get that shit under control. Like, y'all don't even know. Blue Balls has got nothing on breasts that are filled and engorged with milk. No.
Well, I nursed all 4 of mine.
For real, right, Erica? I mean, no. You would plug anything with suck power into your breast. You plug the preacher. Your father come here. You can plug right in and help me right now. I don't care who it was. The pain has got to stop. And so yes, I feel that it is a real thing. The men can do what they want with it, but that is a real fucking problem. And I'm glad they found reprieve because, that's the whole point, Rich.
Well, so did I after the video was done.
Yes, to each his own. Ramok's good. He's like, man, I miss the nipple days. All right, let's keep going. Shaggy's not here. Allie's not here. Ramrock, you are up. I don't know how you're gonna follow that, sir, but I do.
That's a
wish
very
you
good question. I have no clue how to follow that. Uh, but I'll just read. What's up, guys? It's been a pleasure being here all night, listening to this. This piece is titled, I'm going to switch up things a little bit. Heaven, are you still there? These beguiling eyes house a multitude of speck. A tried roommate in a tenement of index fingers. Consider me saintly as the gospel of Matthew escapes my language and settles in the New Testament. Sight is overrated. Ask the plank if it rebukes its role. Still, I hang the overcoat in the shadowed wardrobe in the foyer next to the osteoporosis and the white lies. The mirror shines a parable of tomorrows and maybes as hope fights its way out of this chasm of choice. Inside the shell of secrets and sacrilege dwells a lost belief, a slouched spine, and a burdensome faith, too scarlet to be cleansed. Peace.
Damn it, poet. Oh my God. Y'all unmute your mics for Ramrock Speaks. Let's go.
Nicely done. Very nicely done, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Next to the osteoporosis and white lies. Yo, I feel that as a woman for real. All right, let's go. Anthony, you here? You ready to go?
Yes, I'm here.
What you up to? I miss you. It's so good to hear you.
Yeah, I stepped away from writing poetry because I'm working on a novel now.
I know.
Hopefully it'll be out this year. And then I'm also trying to teach myself to play the guitar finally.
Is it hard?
My son's picking it up a lot better than I am. We go to a training class. They teach us how, but he's picking it up a lot better than I am.
I feel that. I'm at that age where my children are superseding me, but I'm okay with that. For those who don't know, Anthony and his son are published with Red or Green Books. They put out a book, and it is Love Letters to Our Wives, and so, well, to their wives. And it's a wonderful collection of poetry that they wrote to their wives. So go and support them, please, by grabbing a copy of their book. Erica Floyd, you are on deck. Yes, you're on deck. So yeah, Anthony, go ahead. You can read.
Okay. This is a new piece. Can I impregnate your mind with thoughts that you've never conceived? Thoughts that can make you wet. Thoughts that can get the juices running down your legs as you squirm in your seat to compensate for the heartbeat like throbbing between your thighs. Thoughts that can get you caressing your breast as you close your eyes and visualize the many ways my passionate words have touched your soul. Can I impregnate your mind with words untold? Because my name has never lived on the lips of pure black girl magic, let alone has it ever come from the lips of a queen. So can I impregnate your mind with passion-fortified nights that take you to a different paradise? The sexy lingerie on you that I slowly remove and watch you dance your naked frame across the room as the fireplace flames becomes your backup dancer. Full body tongue massage, leading to climactic orgasms. Steamy showers surrounded with candles and flowers. We produce a visualization of true love, of true romance that everyone needs to learn to give birth to. So can I impregnate your mind with those thoughts as you gaze at the moon and seductively whisper my name? In peace.
Let's go. Let's go. MD Live Anthony Harris. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh my gosh. If you guys want to read this poet's bio, all his links are on the website. You can buy his book. Let's go. I mean, it's just a wonderful book. It's just a wonderful book.
Mind if I share a short second piece?
Yeah, go.
Okay. This one is called Bosom of Worry. I buried my soul amidst your bosom of worry. Shattered like glass, I became broken. You, with outstretched arms, gathered the pieces of this broken man. Piece by painstaking piece, you rebuilt my confidence, creating a story waiting to be read. Within your arms, I am once again becoming whole, living, not just surviving, hoping instead of dying, no longer feeling inadequate, but believing I am awakened to the troubles of mankind. I no longer walk alone. I once buried my soul in your bosom of worry. Now I walk hand in hand with you in faith, living in God's namesake. Brokenness is now whole. Sorrow is happiness. Alone we'll always be together. Love and faith has healed me as I buried my soul amidst your bosom of worry. In peace.
Yes, let's go. Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for Anthony.
Woo! Absolutely.
Well done.
Thank you.
It's good to hear you, my friend. I'm glad you're doing well. Lots of love to you and your family, of course. All right, Erica Floyd, also known as Brooklyn in the House, is up now, and she's gonna do her thing. And then Taurin will close us out with a quick encore. You ready, Erica?
I think so.
I'm not ready. Wait.
Well, you know what? I'm going in a different direction because of Rich. There was a piece he read the first round, and it made me think of this one.
Okay.
This one is called Always Underestimating. Passive. Accepting what happens or what others do without active response or resistance. Thinking. Using thought or rational judgment. Intelligence. Conjuring. The performance of tricks which are seemingly magical, typically involving sleight of hand, forethought, careful consideration of what will be necessary or may happen in the future. Sounds like a plan. Premeditation, the action of planning something beforehand. Point of no return. Point beyond which one must continue on the current course because turning back is not an option. Always underestimating. In anything competitive such as poker, chess, life, you don't show your plans. You don't reveal your methods because it gives the opposition the upper hand. So why do people perceive my restraint as conceding? It's hilarious because those that misread me will be in for a rude awakening. It's growing old. People perceiving me as passive, that they characterize me as such. It's wearing thin on me when it shouldn't, considering they really don't know me that much. If they only knew what it was to be me with the experiences that I've had, they would realize the strength that it took for me not to go mad. The damage that I could cause would be quite collateral to the extreme. They would have to rethink their opinions of me because I'm not what I seem. I'm just biding my time coming up with a strategy to avoid me suffering another tragedy. Because if I act on impulse without planning, that would be raggedy. So risking my life or freedom would not be appealing, you see? Because there's such a thing as forensic science that tracks your DNA. I must conjure up a plan without emotions on display, premeditation and forethought to not give myself away. But you think I'm weak? Little did you know that was my power play. What's funny to me is that I come off as predictable. But if one really thought about it, it's the quiet ones you should be most careful of. It's that I don't respond or react in an expected way. Believe it or not, most times I actually pray. How I find it amusing that so many fall for my bluff. There will come a time when enough is enough. Would take pity for the one on the receiving end, but tough. You should have used forethought before I became your target. Your time is up. I get a kick. Ooh, ah, anticipation from just seeing them squirm and twitch because we all know that payback and karma's a bitch. Now you think I'm diabolical. You don't know which is which. How unpredictable I really am. How one could flip like a switch. Home.
Let's go! Let's go, Erica.
Jeez.
Yes. And for those who don't know, Erica is a veteran of this country. With honor, we salute you. Yes, 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 all day long. Let's go.
I guess I
Erica,
got one more piece. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Was that Rich?
that was me. Forgive the interruption.
No, you
Just
good.
to say briefly, I was very glad that I was really moved that you had heard my work and wanted to respond with something that was of a similar vibe. That meant a lot to me to hear you do that. You didn't have to do that, so thank you. And I really loved your characterization in that, in your recitation of that. You
Thank
definitely
you.
brought across what you were meaning to bring across, for sure.
Which is, I'm not trying to get caught.
Yeah, just get your. I say get vengeance all you'd like. Just don't get caught.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
right with you.
I'm so
Right with
silly.
you.
Don't mind me. I'm really nice.
No. You're lovely. You're wonderful. But
I
also don't
am.
her. Not
Yeah.
just because she's gonna fuck you up, but this whole community gonna fuck you up if you do.
I
But
guess.
you absolutely deserve to be here, Erica, and you cause us poets to rise to the top to meet you. So please do not feel ever like you are not worthy of that.
Okay.
Okay, like for
Yes,
real,
ma'am.
I love you. Like
I love you
damn
too.
it, like I wish the country was not so big. Um, Yeah, you
I'm trying to
you
get there.
force people to rise up to the top to meet you, and I'm excited to call you my friend, and I'm honored to call you my friend, and
Aw,
thank you for being here.
don't make
If
me
you
cry.
want to do another piece, if Torin is okay with that, you did not get to read in round one. I'm totally okay with you doing another piece.
Okay. This won't be long. This was a challenge that I did not title. Um, pretty provocative poet had challenged me to do an alliteration. So this was a shot at that. Melancholy moods mandated me, motionless, to meaningful memories, mercilessly mourning matriarchs in memoriam that have moved to their mansions many months ago, making me mindful of my mortality each morning, midday, and moon that materializes, never motionless, meticulous in its movement. Me, myself, mistakenly meandering minutes, aware that moments won't miraculously multiply, but will minus. Meanwhile, remembering Marsh was my maiden moniker, mulling over the misguided misstep in matrimony, the misery of miscarriages that were too many. Meditative murmurings to my Messiah motivated me to maintain my mental, ultimately mesmerized by the miraculous metamorphosis of motherhood, made the misery more meaningful. Grateful, the mission was successful. 4 minions worth millions to me. Yet no more Mohicans moseying through my middle passage. Menstruation met its demise, and meanwhile, menopause is masterfully messing up my mojo. Home.
Woo! Yay for menopause. I love menopause.
Yeah, no, not yay for menopause. Down with menopause. Because AJ does his praise breaks, and I'm like, well, what about the praise breaks for us uteruses out there that are dying slowly in effigy? Like, we ought to have a praise break for our uteruses. I'm just saying. But
Absolutely.
for real,
Absolutely.
yay
Thank
to
you for
the
the space.
pause, nay for the men who are on pause. I should write that down. That's just funny to me. What were you saying, Erica?
I was just saying I appreciate the space that you made for me. That's all.
I love you. You know that
I
I
love
was
you
just
too. I
I
love you
want you
too.
so much to be on this launch because these posts are just bomb. But when your book does come out, I want to buy it. I can't wait. I'm so fucking excited for you. I
So am
cannot.
I.
The blessings are
That's all
coming
I'm
to
gonna
you.
say.
The
Hopefully, maybe
blessings.
by next month. Hopefully.
God, the blessings. They need to be at Erica's door and in her bank
Absolutely.
account,
Thank you.
please.
Yes,
Yes,
please, God.
those
Yes.
blessings. But yes, so if you were to get here, that would be amazing. And if not, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. It's all right. I'm doing my best to make this an annual thing because people are asking for it to be every year. So at first I was like, well, let's make it every other year. And poets are like, no, I need to be back next year. And so it's become this thing that has to be every year.
The
So I'm very,
pressure, the pressure.
you guys could go and get Torin and kidnap him and bring his ass here. And then Allie will be here from Canada because, they'll get Kelly married to kidnap her and bring her ass down too, with Josephine Laurie. So, if we could all converge in New Mexico, it's fine. Yeah, it's a wonderful place to converge as poets. But yeah, whenever you're able to get here, that'll be wonderful. All right, let's do an encore with Torin to close us out tonight. Love menopause, hate menopause. I have a love-hate relationship with menopause right now. I will tell you when it's over. But right now I'm not loving it. All right, Torin, let me spotlight you and go ahead and feel free to encore us.
Okay, so we doing encores and read something already read, or what we doing?
Just read something additional if you want it to be something you already read, or you want to be it does not have to be something from your book. It could be anything that you want to read, is fine, and that will close us out tonight.
Okay, I'm going, let me see. I think I'm just gonna do, since we're closing out, I'm gonna do the last poem in the book. I think that'll be fitting. So, and it's not that long either. Recollections of her tumble towards extinction, calling out to me when the lights are low, while my eyes search for light, using her quivering voice to awaken slumbering omens that I would rather remain laid low beneath a thin layer of regret that barely covers her silhouette. I exiled her name from my circumference, banished it to the borders of remembrance, where unrealized prophecies dare not wander, and could have beens fall and meet their end. She put her head on the shoulder of fallacies, clinging to plausible deniability until the bitter end, sidestepping her high crimes and misdemeanors, foregoing the witness stand while flouting culpability, forsaking our uncommon connection as a chasm opened between final chapters and amicable conclusions. After she shed her imposter's cloak, then stepped into an ensemble more appropriate for the forever she chose, ensuring that she would forever be known as my dark muse.
Yes.
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 Yes. Ah.
Well, get his book, The Dark Muse Chronicles. It is available for sale now. You can find him, Taurin V, on Instagram, taurinv.com. You can buy this book. And it's not just a book of poetry. It's a book of incredible artwork as well.
I love the cover. I absolutely love the cover. That is gorgeous.
Well, Erica, it's a whole image that is spread over the front, spine, and back.
That is crazy.
See, it is so dope. Like I cannot even tell you how like awesome this image is. And Taurin made this cover himself. He did all of the artwork for it. It is just it's absolutely sublime the way that this book has come to life. So please, please, please grab a copy of this book. Support Taurin V tonight. Even if you can't buy the whole book, the book is $15 plus shipping and handling. He has all that set up for you to buy it. He'll send you a signed copy. If you don't have that, then send him $3, $4, $5. Just tip him this evening for his time here. His Cash App is Taurin V94. If you do not have Cash App, you have PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Carrier Pigeon, Firstborn, whatever. We can get that given to him. Just reach out to us at The Word Is Right or at Red or Green Books. And there's zero reason why you should not tip Taurin tonight for this incredible read. Not only as feature, but of course following up with the Encore. My brain just said check out. It's like it's like 9:00. We're gonna check out for the night. But it is a beautiful book. It's not just poetry, but it is artwork, and it is all his artwork. And so please, please, please support the poets. If you would like to hear more from Taurin, he will be our book club author of the month in June of this year. The third Sunday of the month, we will be hosting book club every single month. He will be in June. So if you buy his book in the month of June from the website, it's $5 off. All of those announcements will be hitting Facebook, Instagram, and of course the website, redorgreenbooks.com. But you have to type red READ. It does not work if you type RED. You have to type READ, and that will give you all the information that you need. Come to the New Mexico Poetry Summit in September if you can. Rich, Terry Rose, myself, Whisper Poet, along with countless others, are going to be here to perform and to read over the span of 3 days. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. Follow Taurin, please, on social media. Support him, support his book. Yeah, Ramrock, you got to go get yourself a signed copy. But you got to pay for it, right? Like, tell him Taurin's got to pay for it. Who did the artwork? Terry Rose. Taurin designed all of the artwork inside of his book. He did the cover. He did all the artwork inside with the use of AI. He designed all of the artwork. It is just wonderful. So that is it. That's all the announcements that I have. Keep checking back here at The Word is Right and Red or Green Books. So to answer your question, the New Mexico Poetry Summit is September 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's the second weekend of September. We are doing a staycation before and after the event. So if you would like to come into Albuquerque early, we are going down to a hot springs and we are spending the night in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico at a nice resort, doing hot springs as much as we want that night. And then if you stay later, we are either going to Taos, to Chaco Canyon, or we will go down to Roswell, New Mexico for the Alien Museum. So it just depends upon what people want to do. So Erica, maybe Taurin will become a cover artist. Maybe you can employ his superpowers, because I don't know how the hell he did it. But he certainly knows a lot more than he did 6 months ago, and he can probably do that as a side hustle, because the cover is sensational. It is a breathtaking absolutely breathtaking cover. So thank you all so much for being here. Taurin, any last minute? Rich, you're waving your hand around. Did you have a question?
To say goodnight. I gotta hop off. So good night, everybody. Taurin, great feature. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Great to hear you all.
Taurin, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Good to hear you, Rich.
Before we round out tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you everybody for coming out and listening. I put the Zoom link to my to tomorrow for my Free Your Pen event. I put that in the chat if you want to grab that real quick. And like I said, hit me up at Taurin.v on Instagram, or TaurinV.com. If you like the cover art, I got t-shirts on there. I actually made a poster. You can buy that too. So yeah, so it's all on my website. If you go to my website, go to TaurinV.com, click on shop, all that stuff is in there. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate y'all, and I hope to see you guys around. And thank you, Marissa, for everything. And yeah, more to come.
More to come. There's 3 launches in this debut poetry launch. We've got April, June, and August, and then we've got Taurin in June as the author of the month for June. So there's plenty more to catch of Taurin V and his incredible book. Please keep coming out, showing up, showing support. If you would like to review Taurin's book, let me know. We would like to have some written reviews on the books for his book. That would be an awesome way to help these authors to move into debuting their first book on this launch. So congratulations, Taurin, and your beautiful book, The Dark Muse Chronicles. Thank you, everyone who came out and showed out tonight to support him and The Word is Right. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you've not been to the YouTube channel yet for Red or Green Books and The Word is Right, please go. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow. There's a lot of great things on there. Taurin, I'll let you know when this video gets uploaded to the cloud, and you can absolutely use it for whatever you wish. Thank you all. Peace and blessings. So much love to you, poetry community, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.